Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Chris. Today's video is all about my June perfume tray. I am going to go through some of the perfumes that I know I'm going to be pulling for this June. A lot of them are fragrances that are new in my collection. Several of them I've spent a lot of money on, so I want to make sure those get worn and used in the rotation. And other fragrances I'm going to be mindful about wearing because they're perfumes that I like or love. One in particular I just haven't been wearing over the past year, and I want to give it some love. I almost decluttered it, but I didn't, and I'm going to be wearing it this June. So I'm going to do a quick rundown of those perfumes, and I'm going to warn you, most of these are on the pricey side. Some of these you can get at discounters. There's one relatively affordable designer, but as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to be taping my best picks under 100 for summer. So I'm trying to be mindful about that. But this video is about fragrances that are going to be worn in the month of June. A lot of that has to do with the weather. Okay, so this is going to be a hot summer. I can't remember if it's like La Nina or El Nino. I can't remember what it is, but this is the year it's going to be a hot summer. It's already hot. In the Midwest, you know, May can be really cold. It wasn't cold, it was hot. Now, a lot of you might be asking, and some of you had already asked, why am I not taping right outside my window at my pool for the summer? And the reason is that if you live in the Midwest, you know why. It is that it is the year of the cicada, or it is the summer of the cicada. Every 13 years, they really come out in the summer, and they are out chirping and buzzing and singing and talking 24/7, and they are loud. So it's not something that I'm going to be doing right now. Maybe if they start to quiet down at the end of June, I might start doing the end of the summer perfume videos outside. But for the next month at least, while they're super active and out in big numbers, I'll be taping in here, which is a lot more comfortable because, like I said, it's already hot. Now with that, I'm going to start with two passion fruit fragrances. My favorite fruity perfume at the moment was a newest acquisition, and it was on my wish list for about a year because it's pricey. And when I really fell in love with it, it was at the end of the summer. And even though I think you can wear this in the wintertime or in the cold months, I think this will really do well, or this really shines in the hot weather. And it is Narco Oasis again. Lots of notes in here, but the main note to me is passion fruit and vanilla. I think there's also black currant. I'm not absolutely sure. Again, this is relatively new to me, but it has the most realistic passion fruit out of any perfume I think I've ever smelled. If you have a terrific, realistic passion fruit, let me know in the comments below. But this is a beautiful passion fruit. Passion fruit can be a little bit tart. It's tart and it's recognizable as passion fruit, but it has this really heavy, beautiful, sweet, powdery, gourmand vanilla that offsets any of that tartness. I just love a tart sweet combo. And I think the reason why it's my favorite fruity perfume, or definitely one of my favorite fruity perfumes at the moment, is because a lot of fruity perfumes are just super artificial smelling. They smell artificial. This one does not. This smells very realistic. And a lot of fruity perfumes have a lot of musk with them. And I'm thinking of Herba Pura. I do not like that heavy musk fruity thing. It's not my favorite. This has almost no musk. So the other passion fruit perfume that I almost decluttered, I considered decluttering this. I sprayed it and I thought, no, I don't want to declutter it. I don't want to declutter it just yet. But it definitely has the main difference between these two, or there's some big differences between Narco Oasis and Dahab, is there's a lot of musk in here. Now, it's not as heavy as it is in, let's say, Herba Pura or Herba Pura, but there's a lot of musk in here. So musk, passion fruit, green apple, a little bit of ambery sweetness in the dry down. So you have to be able to tolerate musk. If you don't like that fruity musk combo at all, you're probably not going to like this. And again, why it's not my favorite perfume. Both of these have excellent longevity and lasting power, and this one has more of a noticeable wood in the base. And I do like the little bit of the addition of green apple that's in the beginning. It gives it a nice freshness, which will be really good for the summer. Okay, I love clean and fresh fragrances. I've got two really good clean and fresh fragrances that I love to wear, particularly when it's really, really hot. I mean, if you've been with me for a long time, you know I love this one right here. Nothing But Sea and Sky. I've got a nice little dent here. I love this perfume. It's very, very simple, but it's so good. This is a sandalwood perfume, in my opinion, that's very, very fresh and clean. So this is sandalwood, bergamot, and musk, and that's really what I smell. The sandalwood is super clean and fresh and light and bright and citrusy. It's got that little citrusy opening, but it's absolutely, in my opinion, very sandalwood heavy. The sandalwood is not super masculine. A lot of people mention in the comments they don't like sandalwood because it smells like a hamster cage or it's really, really masculine. I think that this is a very, very unisex fragrance, but definitely because it's so clean and light and bright, I think many people would say it's an easy to take sandalwood, very fresh. You've got that musk in there. This is like, I love to wear this on a hot day when it's just like sunny and not a cloud in the sky, but honestly, I wear this year round, but this is in heavy rotation during the hot months because it's so light and fluffy and airy, and it just never weighs you down. Another one that is so good in the hot weather that does not weigh me down, I think this was my very first House of Sillage perfume, and it is called Whispers of Time. I just love this. No one talks about it. I don't think it's at all one of their more popular fragrances. That's fine, I don't care. This is a really good orange blossom, neroli, bergamot, ginger perfume. And it's very, very refreshing and light and bright. If you like neroli, you'll probably like this. It has a really nice neroli. It's fresh, it's clean, it's citrusy. It has a nice pop of ginger. And it smells a lot like Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford in the beginning. But as this dries down, and I don't know, there must be vanilla in here. There's a little bit of cedar, maybe that ginger. It smells kind of like Fruit Loops. It's like a Fruit Loopy perfume, and I really, really love it. Like an elevated, elegant, fresh, you know, Fruit Loop perfume. Now it's very light. These both wear lightly. That's why I think they do really, really well in the hot weather. So if you want or you demand a perfume lasts, you know, 6 or 7 hours, you're going to be disappointed with this. I don't. I love it, and I've got a nice little dent in it, but I definitely will be replacing this if I ever finish it. I love it. Okay, a couple new perfumes that I've talked about recently, and I will be wearing these for two reasons. Number one, I absolutely love these. These are two of my newest pickups. I mean, they're definitely up there at the very top as far as my favorite newest pickups. And they're just delicious, and they were expensive, so I want to make sure they get in the rotation and they get used. The first one is this one by Mind Games. It is called Queening. This is such a likable vanilla. It's a very different vanilla. So it's vanilla, it's cotton flower or cotton blossom, it's green apple and some cypress. And it was in my, you know, light and airy, clean and fluffy fragrance video for a reason. This vanilla is very light and bright and fresh and fluffy and a little bit sweet. There's just something so likable about it. Now, cotton flower is a fantasy note, but it's added to fragrances to give fragrances a lightness, an airiness, a little bit of a fluffiness. Now this has a little bit of green apple in the beginning and some evergreen, and it's cypress. So there is a greenness in here. So it's fresh, it's a little bit fruity, but you've got that little bit of a cypress evergreeny note. So to me, I can pick that up right in the beginning. It does fade over time to become this clean, fluffy, light, cottony vanilla that is so incredibly likable. It's such a versatile perfume. I love this line in general. I'm thinking off the top of my head if there's anything I hate. I don't think there is. I love the bottles. The only thing I don't like is they're super expensive. This one is very versatile, so I could use it in any situation, and it is a good year-round perfume, but the way it's composed, it will be perfect in the spring and summer, and it's gonna get a ton of wear. I've worn this to work. It's really pretty, it's likable, but it's not super overwhelming. One of my favorite orange blossoms at the moment is this beauty right here Another one I talked about in my new pickups. This is by Therese Van Noten, and this is Jardin de L'Orangerie. Jardin de L'Orangerie. Okay, everybody knows my French is not great, but this is a beautiful, sweet, milky, fluffy, creamy orange blossom. I'm really, really into orange blossom right now, and I love to wear it when it's hot. I think orange blossom does really, really well in the heat. Now this one really took me by surprise when I'd never even heard of it before. When I did the Discovery set, I was just going through them. I was like, wait a minute, what is this one? I fell in love and knew that I wanted to purchase the full bottle, which I did, as you can see. It's quite beautiful, and it's a little bit different than my other orange blossoms because this has a note of milk, so it's very milky. I get almost like a sweet cream as opposed to just a milk, like a lactonic note. I get a sweet cream, almost like a light marshmallowy milk. Now, it's not the marshmallow orange blossom like Love Don't Be Shy. I've worn them side by side. They're very different. Love Don't Be Shy is super, super sweet. It has a sticky sweetness to it. This has a light, milky, creamy, soft, fluffy sweetness to it. It's definitely sweet, but it's not cloying like Love Don't Be Shy. There are other white flowers in here. I want to say jasmine. Maybe there's lily. I can definitely pick up the jasmine, but it's way in the background. And this, to me, I mean, this smells like the bottle. This is just such a happy, this is sweet, floral, milky, white flower happiness in a bottle. Okay, the next two are perfumes that have been in my collection for at least or over 2 years. This one is not going to be a stranger to anyone. This is my Blanche Bete. It has macerated quite, I mean, the juice is really like a dark orange, which you will not be able to pick up because of the lights in here. Maybe if I bring it back here. But, you know, this is no stranger. It is so, the longer I have this, I mean, my mouth is about to water. It is so delicious. So to me, and I've, you know, described this before, this is like tuberose petals dipped in a light coconut cream or a coconut oil, dusted with a little bit of cacao, and you've got this swimming in this beautiful musk. There's an ambrette, so it's a light musk. There's a fantasy incensey note in here that frankly, I don't really pick up. I pick up mostly on that, you know, tuberose dipped in coconut oil with a beautiful musk and a light dusting of cacao. On me, this one lasts forever. This is super strong. I do love to wear it in the hot weather because it just screams like tropical yumminess. This is like a dense, milky, creamy, tropical floral. I love it. And it's really, really good with a coconut body oil or a coconut body cream underneath. The next one is a designer. A lot of people are gonna yawn, but I just love this one. Burberry For Her, and this is the EDT. I think this is my favorite of the flankers. It's just so good smelling and refreshing. So it's black currant, you've got strawberry, black currant, pear, a little bit of cassis leaf, a little bit of florals. It definitely has a peony in here. I'm not sure what other florals are there, but it's got this nice pink peony it's got this nice pink peony in here. And for an EDT, it's just so refreshing and good smelling. I love it. It's an easy reach in the spring and summer. And don't be afraid because it's an EDT. It has great lasting power. Okay, my next two are also very new in my collection. One was, I was so excited to get this in PR. Listen, when PR can be a double-edged sword, like getting PR and you don't like it, that's very awkward. I mean, it's not awkward if you happen to be one of those lucky people, like 1 in a million, that actually like all the PR that is sent to you. Wink, wink. But if you care about relaying your honest feelings to your audience, to your peers, to your friends, PR can be a little bit awkward if you don't like it. So I was so thrilled when Micallef sent this to me because I smelled it and I was in love immediately. Well, again, I'm really into orange blossom perfumes. This is one of my very favorite orange blossom fragrances. It is so nice. I post about it all the time, particularly in my stories. over on Instagram, and you would not believe all the people that replied to me and say, oh, I bought it. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. I only know 2 people that don't like it. One person is another creator, and she doesn't like it because she doesn't like Orange Blossom. I mean, if you don't like Orange Blossom and a little bit of Neroli, you're not going to like this. But it is such a beautiful, realistic Orange Blossom. It's gorgeous, and I had a wedding to go to on Sunday, and it was a hot day. It was really, really pretty. I wore this side by side with Solar Blossom. I couldn't decide which one to wear, so I wore them on each arm, and it was just, I smelled so good. It was so pretty. It just goes with sunshine and warm weather. Anyways, so again, very realistic Orange Blossom. It's absolutely beautiful. It does have a hint of greenness in here. It absolutely has neroli and a touch of petitgrain, but it's not bitter. It's not overly green. But if you are super, super, super sensitive to neroli and you absolutely hate it, you will probably, you know, you're going to be able to pick it up in here because it's not just that straight up, you know, Orange Blossom marshmallow fragrance combination. It's floral with some sweetness, a little bit of sweetness. It's not super sweet like a Love Don't Be Shy, but it has a lovely gentle sweetness in the dry down, but it does have a little bit of that neroli and maybe a touch of petitgrain. So you have to be able to tolerate it. I love it because it's in the background as they just play supporting notes, and I think it just makes it such a refreshing, lovely summer scent. And then the last one that I have been wearing a lot, it's this Mondo bottle here, and this is Sur Ma Peau by Dries Van Noten. Now, I got this because I went through the Discovery set. I've already purchased several full bottles. Now, if you buy the full bottles on the Dries Van Noten website, you get 2 free samples, and you can pick out whatever sample. I had found out that when I saw this on the website that this was a Quentin Biche creation. I said, oh, I want to definitely get my nose on it. And it is huge. It's a 200 ml bottle, and I don't know, I mean, I've only had it for about a month, and I've put quite the dent into it. And again, this is 7 ounces, 200 ml. It's enormous. So there's 2 reasons why I've already put a dent into it. Number 1, it's a beautiful fragrance. I love it, and it goes with this hot weather. And number 2, warning, it wears lightly. So this is a beautiful, I would call it a citrusy vanilla with vetiver. So in the very, very beginning, maybe first 5 to 10 minutes, there's something a little bit too earthy for me. Maybe it's the vetiver, maybe there's cedar in here, maybe it's vetiver and cedar, whatever. It's just a little too earthy, almost animalic for me. It almost has that spicy cumin thing. It doesn't quite get there, but it's a little too dry and earthy. Thankfully, that burns off fairly quickly, and what you get is a beautiful, fresh, citrusy vanilla, like a bergamot vanilla with vetiver in the background. So the vetiver, as it dries down, just becomes more dry and grassy and much less woody and earthy. It's so, so pretty. This has become an easy grab and go. Now, these big bottles are the EDTs, and they're actually less expensive than the 100 ml bottles. Not by much, but I think this was $255. This was $300. I mean, they are expensive. But this one is beautiful, wears lightly, but it's a beautiful Quentin Biche creation. And it is going to get, it's already gotten a lot of wear. It's going to get more wear because it does beautiful in the hot months. So that was my June perfume tray rotation. Fragrances I am definitely going to be wearing, I've already worn, and I will definitely make an effort to wear for the month of June in addition to all my other perfumes. Hey, thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for popping by. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.